We'll start with Quran recitation. I would like to request Brother Shayan to please come. Salawat ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ويل لكل حمزة لمزة الذي جمع مالا وعدده يحسب أن ماله أخلده كلا لينبذن في الحطمة وما أدراك ما الحطمة نار الله الموقدة التي تطلع على الأفئدة إنه عليهم مؤصدة في عمد ممددة صدق الله العلي العظيم صلوات.
Salawat ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. آج رخصت ہو رہی ہے تم سے زہرا یا علی آج رخصت ہو رہی ہے تم سے زہرا یا علی کیا کہوں دل میں خیال کیا کہوں دل میں خیال آتے ہیں میرے یا علی آج رخصت ہو رہی ہے تم سے زہرا یا علی ہاں مدینے والوں کو تھا میرا رونا ناگوار ہاں مدینے والوں کو تھا میرا رونا ناگوار آج سے ہوگا نہ ان لوگوں کو شکوہ یا علی آج سے ہوگا نہ ان لوگوں کو شکوہ یا علی دشمنوں کو تم نہ آنے دینا میری لاش پر دشمنوں کو تم نہ آنے میری لاش پر پردہ شب میں میری میت اٹھانا یا علی، پردہ شب میں میری میت اٹھانا یا علی، بعد میرے جان کیا ہو، حال بچوں کا میرے، بعد میرے جان کیا ہو، حال بچوں کا میرے، ان کو ایذا ہو تو ہوگی، مجھ کو ایذا یا علی، فاقے کر کے آفتوں سے میں نے پالا ہے انہیں، فاقے کر کے آفتوں سے میں نے پالا ہے انہیں، تم خیال ان کا میری خاطر سے رکھنا یا علی، جانتے ہیں آپ یہ نازوں کا پالا ہے حسین، جانتے ہیں آپ یہ نازوں کا پالا ہے حسین، وہ اگر روئے دلاسا اس کو دینا یا علی، رہ گئے اپنا کلیجہ تھام کر مولا سعید، رہ گئے اپنا کلیجہ تھام کر مولا سعید، بولی زہرا جب خدا حافظ تمہارا یا علی، بولی زہرا جب خدا حافظ تمہارا یا علی، آج رخصت ہو رہی ہے تم سے ظاہرا یا علی بر محمد و آل محمد صلوات. For Marcia, I would like to request Brother Abbas Raza Asif to please come. Salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
صلوات على محمد وآل محمد. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. جب داخل بہشت رسول خدا یعنی جہاں سے راہی ملک بقا محزون و دل ملول شاہ لاپتہ سبتین غم میں نانا کے سر پہ بکا سبتین غم میں نانا کے سر پہ بکا ہوئے صدمہ ہر ایک کو تھا جناب رسول کا پر حال غیر سب سے سوا تھا بطول کا پر حال غیر سب سے سوا تھا بطول کا بستر سے تھر تھرا کے اٹھیں تھام کر قبر نبی پا فاتحہ آخری پڑھا ہمسایوں کے گھر گئیں رخصت کو اور کہا لو صاحبو بحل کرو اب کچھ ہے میرا لو صاحبو بحل کرو اب ہے میرا ایزا تھی تم سبوں کو میرے شور و شین سے کل فاطمہ نہ ہوئے گی تم سونا چین سے کل فاطمہ نہ ہوئے گی تم سونا چین سے ہمسایہ کے حقوق سے آگاہ ہے لوگوں میرے یتیموں سے رہنا نگاہ اب ساتھ ان کا اور تمہارا ہے بن ماں کی ہوتی ہے میری دکھیاری بن ماں کی ہوتی ہے میری دکھیاری بیٹیاں بچپن پاپ نے بچوں کے آنسو بہاتی تم پر حسن حسین کو میں چھوڑے جاتی ہوں تم پر حسن حسین کو میں چھوڑے جاتی ہوں رو کر کبھی حسن کو گلے سے لگا لیا آغوش میں حسین کو گائے بٹھا لیا رخصت کیا کسی کو بولا لیا پڑھنے کے واسطے کبھی قرآن اٹھا لیا پڑھنے کے واسطے کبھی قرآن اٹھا لیا کہتی تھی گاہ بچوں سے اپنا موڑ کل کل سونے گھر میں سونا ہے بستی کو چھوڑ کے کل سونے گھر میں سونا ہے بستی کو چھوڑ کے سن لو وصیت میری اس وقت یا امام فضا سے میرے بعد عدالت سے ہوشیار فاطمہ کی امانت سے دو بیٹیاں دو بیٹے ہیں بس اور خدا کا نام دو بیٹیاں دو بیٹے ہیں بس اور خدا کا نام میں نے بڑے دکھوں سے یہ سب بچے پالے حق کے حوالے تم یہ تمہارے حوالے ہیں حق کے حوالے تم یہ تمہارے حوالے ہیں ہے آرزو کے قبر میں مجھے کو حسن شبیر میرے لاش کا منہ قبلے کو پھر خود کہا نہیں بچہ ہے ڈر ناگاہ کھیلتے ہوئے دونوں یتیم ناگاہ کھیلتے ہوئے دونوں یتیم چھاتی لگا کے بول کے لو ہم تو مرتے تم سے سلوک دیکھیے کیا لوگ کرتے ہیں تم سے سلوک دیکھیے کیا لوگ کرتے ہیں یہ کہتی تھی کہ غش نے دیا موت کا حجرے سے نکلے روتے ہوئے اقرب ترتیب ناش کے لیے باہر گئے زہرا نے یا مصلی پا اپنا کیا مقام زہرا نے یہاں مصلی پا اپنا کیا مقام لکھا ہے بس نماز عشاء کی ادا اور غل اٹھا کے بنت نبی کی قضا اور غل اٹھا کے بنت نبی کی قضا ہوئی ماتھا حسن نے لاش کے ماتھے پر رکھ دیا رو رو کے اماں کہا اور غش طلبوں سے اپنے ماتھے کو شبیر نے پاؤں میں دم نہ پایا تو یہ کان نے کہا پاؤں میں دم نہ پایا تو یہ کان میں کہا میں آپ کا غلام ہوں اور نور عین آواز دو حسین ہو اماں حسین آواز دو حسین ہو اماں حسین جب داخل بہشت رسول خدا ہوئے پر محمد وآل محمد صلی اللہ علیہ وسلم اللہم صلی
بار دیگر صلوات اللہم صلی علی محمد و آل محمد و عجل فرجہم. A few announcements before we request our visiting scholar Maulana Seyyed Muhammad Bahrelelom who came to us from East Coast. We thank him and welcome him in Bay Area. Please recite a loud salawat. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad wa ajil. Tonight's program and food is sponsored by Brother Safdar Raza Seyyed and Sister Anjum, Sister Uzma Adil and Sukaina. For their health, safety and increase in tawfiqat, please recite a loud salawat. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad. For all the marhumin and marhumat of tonight's sponsors, your marhumin and marhumat, those marhumin whose names are written on Monument of Zahra, and for all those there's no one to recite Fatiha for, let's recite one time Surah Alhamd and three times Surah Ikhlas ma'a salawat. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad wa ajil farajum. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alamin. Ar-Rahmanir Rahim. Maliki Yawmiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Ihdinas siratal mustaqim. Siratal ladzina an'amta 'alayhim ghayril maghdubi 'alayhim waladdallin. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Qul huwallahu ahad. Allahus samad. قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد. صلوات على محمد وآل محمد. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وأجل فرج. We'll have tomorrow and day after tomorrow majalis at ICZ, but the program will start at 5 p.m. with Salatul Maghribain, inshallah. An important announcement for tomorrow is for the general body meeting for ICZ, where the Board of Trustees will update the community about the current status of ICZ. You're all requested to please attend in numbers, inshallah. Now, I would like to request Hujjatul Islam, Maulana Seyyed Haider Bahrelelom, to please address the gathering. Salawat ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين. الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونستهديه ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا. من يهدي الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له. والصلاة والسلام على حبيب قلوبنا وشفيع ذنوبنا أبي القاسم محمد وعلى آل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. Dear respected brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum jami'an wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Allah the Almighty says in the Holy Quran in Surah Al-Hashr, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله ولتنظر نفس ما قدمت لغد واتقوا الله إن الله خبير بما تعملون ولا تكونوا كالذين نسوا الله ولا تكونوا كالذين نسوا الله فأنساهم أنفسهم أولئك هم الفاسقون صدق الله العلي العظيم صلوات
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
Allah Azza wa Jal, He talks to us in the Holy Quran, communicates His words, and these words hold meanings. Our job is to reflect, to ponder, to do some sort of thinking so we can translate the words that were heard to words that carry meanings and more than sound. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu. Here is an address with all you who believe. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu. In some verses, Ya ayyuhan nas, O people, but in these verses, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu. This Kalamullah, the word of Allah Azza wa Jal, when we listen to it, how do we engage with these words of Allah Azza wa Jal? Because the engagement and the impact these words have on us is telling to the relationship that we have with Him. How we listen, how we hear and how we listen, and then how we comprehend the words is a direct result of who we are. Who we are has an impact on how we engage with these words from Allah Azza wa Jal. Why? See, dear brothers and sisters, each one of us has a different story. Born and raised, different place, different time, and their journey shaped who they are, shaped who you became. There are factors that made you the person who you are, how you think, how you feel, and how you behave. When you look at someone's behavior, it's usually a result of his feelings, and his feelings are a result of his thoughts. So when you think these thoughts, how well you think them and how well you analyze them, they create a feeling inside of you. You either get so much attached to them, they either rise you to a point that you want to commit to these ideas, and these ideas move you to move mountains or make you stagnant and make you lazy and make you complacent. The result is a behavior. You either move the mountains or sit home, do nothing. The question is, the ideas that you take, that you capture, when they are heard through the words of Allah Azza wa Jal. These ideas, these words of Allah, these verses, they carry a deep message, and how we are is either shaped according to these words or not. And let's be real. I always like to share these thoughts with the masses when I meet and talk to them. We claim in our minds the most important book in our lives is what book? What book? The Holy Quran, صح, right? How many verses in it? 6,200 plus or minus. The plus or minus is because I don't know the exact. I'm not adding or subtracting. But let's, for calculations purposes, let's say 6,000 verses. Now I want you to run a test in your minds. The claim is, Al-Quran Al-Karim is by far the most important book in my life. So the impact it has on me has to be what? Extreme. So you ask yourself, out of 6,000 verses, how many verses, it truly, don't answer it, keep the answer in your head, shape the person you are today? Which means you listened to the verse, you comprehended, you reflected, you pondered, and it had an impact on you, and it shaped the person you are today. How many verses? Out of 6,000, can we say this is the most important book? 50%, 3,000 verses? Maybe a little bit too much. 10%, 6,000, that's 600 verses. Can we claim individually, you and I, that I have 600 verses that shape the person I am today? 600, maybe too much. Let's go to 1%, that's 60 verses. Do I know, can I relate 60 verses? I say these verses, my God, the way they are, they impacted how I think and therefore how I became. 6 verses, 0.1%. The reason I'm going with these numbers, dear brothers and sisters, I want you to be real with your relationship with the Quran. It's never late, by the way. The Quran, when you start reading it with this open mind and open heart, Al-Allama Tabatabai rahmatullahi ta'ala alayh, the author of Tafsir al-Mizan, he says people approach the Quran in 2 ways. They have preconceived notions and ideas already set in their minds, and they open the Quran to see what in the Quran that would what? Prove what they already have. Versus others that open the Quran to shape the ideas they want to commit to. 2 different ways. How many of us, when we open the Quran, we explore it to shape who we are? How would we become an image of the Quran? How we make the Quran our guide in shaping who we are? This, dear brothers and sisters, it creates a different me and you. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Look at how Allah Azza wa Jal talks to us and describes the state. لو أنزلنا هذا القرآن, if we were to reveal this Quran على جبل, onto a mountain. This is a comparison Allah Azza wa Jal gives us in the whole Quran so we can think about this imagery where Allah Azza wa Jal is revealing the Quran onto a what? لو أنزلنا هذا القرآن على جبل, onto a mountain. Here, obviously the reader, the reciter is asking, the Jabal, the mountain, a Quran is revealed onto it. God continues, so the imagery, see, one of the most powerful means and styles in the Quran is the imageries, where you engage, you create an image in your mind. لو أنزلنا هذا القرآن على جبل لرأيته خاشعا. You would see the mountain in a state of what? خشوع. لرأيته خاشعا متصدعا. It would crack asunder. تصدع. When something starts breaking down, from what? من خشية الله. From the fear of Allah Azza wa Jal. But al-khashya here is not any kind of fear. It's the fear that comes with the knowledge, with the knowing. وَتِلْكَ الْأَمْثَالُ نَضْرِبُهَا لِلنَّاسِ. And we said these examples to the people. Why? لَعَلَّهُمْ يَتَفَكَّرُونَ. So they may think. See, the actual imagery, it pushes me to think. The mountain moves. The mountain has khushu', has tasaddu'. Tasaddu' is a state when something is overtaken, it cracks, it starts opening up, breaking down. Here Allah Azza wa Jal, the question that I ought to ask myself, does this happen to my heart when I read the Quran? Do I have this wariness, this fear, this attentiveness, this engagement with the words of Allah Azza wa Jal? Do I? The previous verses are an interesting intro to this. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله. O you who believe, be wary of Allah. وَلْتَنْظُرْ نَفْسٌ مَا قَدَّمَتْ لِغَدٍ. And every self, every soul, every person should be aware and look into what it has presented, brought forth to tomorrow. The ghad, tomorrow in this is not today is Friday, tomorrow is Saturday. Ghad is the actual real tomorrow, which is what? The life after this. What comes after this dunya. وَاتَّقُوا اللَّهِ. And be wary of Allah. This taqwa. إِنَّ اللَّهَ خَبِيرٌ بِمَا تَعْمَلُونَ. Surely God knows everything you do. Then look at the punchline here. This is important. There are rules. I want you to be aware of this. We go to school and learn physics, biology, chemistry, mathematics, all sorts of sciences to understand the world of matter. The Quran teaches us the world of non-matter. There are universal laws that He wants us to learn. وَلَا تَكُونُوا كَالَّذِينَ نَسُوا اللَّهَ. And don't be like those who forgot Allah. فَأَنْسَاهُمْ أَنفُسَهُمْ. They forgot themselves. أُولَئِكَ هُمُ الْفَاسِقُونَ. These are the transgressors. There's a law here. God is handing us a law and says, you forget when you want to ask. You know, sometimes you say, man, he lost himself. This guy just lost it. He lost it. What happened to him? He's not himself. He is, or she's not herself anymore. They lost themselves. They forgot themselves. Why? Look at their relationship with Allah. Here Allah is saying, the reason this happens because of this. There's the if and then. Then The collecting statement, لا يستوي أصحاب النار وأصحاب الجنة. The people of fire, the people of hell, and the people of heaven are not equal. أصحاب الجنة هم الفائزون. Who are the ones who are successful? The people of heaven. See, Allah Azza wa Jal summed up, يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله. If we were to reflect in the Holy Quran, God describes the nafs in 3 stages, 3 different states. You've all read the Quran. How many different ways does God describe the state of the self? Either a nafsil mutma'inna, a self that is in a state of peace with itself. Or, this is one of the sides. Or the nafs could be a nafsil ammarati bisu, the self that wants to do wrong. It pushes you to do wrong. It tells you to do wrong. And there is the nafs, the self-blaming nafs, النفس اللوامة. So النفس الأمارة بالسوء, النفس اللوامة, والنفس المطمئنة. The person, dear brothers and sisters, you and I, we go from one state to the other. One time we see we're so religious and spiritual, like we are so above 9th cloud. And sometimes you want to do all the haram. We jump from one state to the other. And then we feel so bad. It's that self-blaming self. We keep on going back and forth. This message that is given to us is about what? Bil Quran. In Quran, Allah Azza wa Jal tells us you want to stay and achieve the highest level, the level of an-nafs al-mutma'innah. To move from an-nafs al-ammarati bis-su' and to hover into an-nafs al-lawama, to elevate into nafs al-mutma'innah, there's only one path and one tool. What is that? At-taqwa. At-taqwa is the mechanism that moves you from one state to the other so you can rest in an-nafs al-mutma'innah. This only happens if we take the time to understand the self, to understand this universe, this world that we live in, and to shape ourselves in such a way that allows us to elevate and move from one state to the other. If we don't have this reflective movement, if we don't have this reflective state, we will never achieve the movements, dear brothers and sisters. So, there are many rules and laws in the Quran. If we were to reflect on each one of them, it gives us a full understanding of the life that we should live. Allah says, see, when I understand these verses, I start reflecting further on how Allah shaped this universe and what does He want me to do in this world. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. كل نفس بما كسبت رهينة. That's a verse in the Quran. Every soul is what? Rahina. Is a hostage to what it earned. Meaning what? Meaning what? Whatever we earn in this life, in this world, we are hostage to it. Our actions shape our future. Our actions today shape our hereafter. Today, right now, as we speak, as we live, we are shaping our future. Surah Al-Zalzala, what does God say? Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. إذا زلزلت الأرض زلزالها. When this massive earthquake takes place, وَأَخْرَجَتِ الْأَرْضُ أَثْقَالَهَا. And it took out everything inside of it. It just spat it out. What happens after that? الإنسان, what does he say? يقول الإنسان What does he say يومئذ? ما لها. What's wrong with it? يومئذ تحدث أخبارها. It will talk. It will tell you. The earth will start talking. This is the Quran. This is the Quran. بأن ربك أوحى لها. That its Lord inspired it to talk. Now look at the following verse. يومئذ يصدر الناس أشتاتا ليروا أعمالهم. On that day, men will be resurrected in groups so they can what? Be shown what they have done. فَمَنْ يَعْمَلْ مِثْقَالَ ذَرَّةٍ خَيْرًا يَرَهُ وَمَنْ يَعْمَلْ مِثْقَالَ ذَرَّةٍ شَرًّا يَرَهُ. An atom worth of good you shall see, an atom worth of evil you shall see. You will be shaping, you are shaping your hereafter. Whatever you do of good, you shall see it. Whatever I do of evil, I shall see it. The question is, how do I want to shape me? Here, one thing that catches my attention as I recite for Imam Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam, in Proverb 150, in Nahj al-Balagha, and it's a wealth of knowledge. I don't know what source of knowledge, where do you go to really investigate, explore, to learn further. But we have our text, Al-Quran Al-Kareem. We have the text, Al-Hadith, Nahj al-Balagha, Al-Sahifa al-Sajjadiyya. One of my teachers one time said, he goes, all we need is Al-Quran, Minhaj al-Salihin for the halal and the haram, and we need Mafatih al-Jinan will be also enough for us. When you read what Ahlul Bayt Islam left us, the wealth of knowledge they gave us, the problem is how much time we put. The problem is how much does it matter to you? Let's be real. I want you to be real about this. Life is like a passing cloud. Today we have it, tomorrow we lose it. Actually, the moment you blink, it's gone. Amir al-Mu'minin Islam says, خُذُوا مِن مَمَرِّكُمْ لِمَقَرِّكُمْ. Take from your passage to your abode. Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, عَجِبْتُ مِنْ إِمْرِئٍ. I wondered from a man who built a house on a bridge. Do you build a house on a bridge? Think about it a little bit. Some of us feel too proud to think that this is too good. They're too good to listen to the stuff. They don't want to spend time and reflect. Reflect on this thought. عَجِبْتُ مِنْ إِمْرِئٍ. I'm shocked, I'm surprised from a man who built a house on a bridge. We work day and night to build this house on this bridge. This bridge is what? This dunya. Meaning, we build and focus on this dunya. إِنَّمَا الدُّنْيَا مَزْرَعَةُ الْآخِرَةِ. But this world is only the farm for the hereafter. Amir al-Mu'minin alayhi salam, he tells us, مُوتُوا قَبْلَ أَن تَمُوتُوا. Die before you die, meaning wake up before you're awakened by force. These words of Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam, dear brothers and sisters, if you allow them, can shape your thoughts, shape your mindset. Many of us have this build a mindset of the minimum we offer to God. We just do whatever minimum is possible to move on. If we look at what he has given us, is there anything we have that's not from him? The basic, whatever we have, our mere existence is from him. We have to be aware of giving thanks to that. That's why Amir al-Mu'mineen, salamullahi ta'ala alayh, in this Al-Hikmah number 150 in Nahj al-Balagha, he talks about the following. لا تكن ممن يرجو الآخرة بغير عمل. Don't be of those who hope for the bliss in the next life with no action. We just live in a dream. We just say, we assume things about ourselves and what may happen. ويرجي التوبة بطول الأمل. And delays repentance. Why? So much desire and hope. So much. Two things. Imam Sadiq says two things killed mankind. What are they? التسويف, procrastination, وطول الأمل, and too much hope. They killed mankind. Dear brothers and sisters, today we live our societies. The universe is pushing, the world is pushing into a lifestyle that is very odd. It's hard to understand and to grasp. At one point, this world was so infatuated with fear, and everything they did is because of they lived and they felt and they believed in so many things that meant nothing, superstitious. Then things started developing. Religion took a different form. Then we had a point where there's value to rationale, to reason. And there's the Enlightenment age when Islam came and he opened our minds, opened our hearts to understand through rationale thinking, through reasoning. But today, what drives us? If you look at societies today, they are built upon the basic axiom that you should allow anyone to do anything. Individual freedom. Whatever you desire, you do. There are no basis for whatever you want to present, as long as it does not infringe on someone else's freedom. How do you define that? We moved from reason and science to mere desire. Whatever comes to mind, I will claim it. I will shape me according to whatever I desire to be. Where is it going to? We have to allow ourselves to be following a framework. Al-Islam in everything that we have is a framework that gives us a filter to any idea to see how we can behave based on it. We have the theological filter, we have the jurisprudential filter, we have the ethical filter. We look at anything, we assess the ideas, and then we do it. يقول في الدنيا بقول الزاهدين. Imam ﷺ talks about this person, he's so religious, he just acts like those, zuhad, the religious people. وَيَعْمَلُ فِيهَا بِعَمَلِ الرَّاغِبِينَ. But the way he acts, the way he is, he's of those who are eager and loving to this dunya. إِنْ أُعْطِيَ مِنْهَا لَمْ يَشْبَعْ. Whatever he's given of it, he's never ever satisfied. وَإِنْ مُنِعَ مِنْهَا لَمْ يَقْنَعْ. And if he's denied, he's not content. يَعْجَزُ عَنْ شُكْرِ مَا أُوتِي. Whatever he is given, he's not even thankful to it. وَيَبْتَغِ الزِّيَادَةَ فِي مَا بَقِي. And he wants to go after everything else that he doesn't have. يَنْهَى وَلَا يَنْتَهِي. He's good at telling people what not to do, but he never stops himself from doing it. وَيَأْمُرُ بِمَا لَا يَأْتِي. And he tells people to do things he himself doesn't. يُحِبُّ الصَّالِحِينَ وَلَا يَعْمَلُ عَمَلَهُمْ. He loves the virtuous ones, but he doesn't do what they do. وَيُبْغِضُ الْمُذْنِبِينَ وَهُوَ أَحَدُهُمْ. He doesn't like the sinners, yet he's one of them. Now, filter it in your mind. Does it apply to me? Ask yourself. يكره الموت. He cannot stand death. Why? لكثرة ذنوبه. So many sins. ويقيم على ما يكره الموت من أجله. And he keeps on doing the wrong for which he hates death for. Subhanallah, this man. How is he? What does he do? إن أصابه بلاء دعا مضطرا. When he's befallen by a distress, you see him praying to Allah Azza wa Jal. وإن ناله رخاء أعرض مغترا. But the moment he is relaxed and everything's good around him, at ease of life, he turns his face away. One of the parts he says is very telling. Think, does it apply to yourself? Just think about it, reflect. يخاف على غيره بأدنى من ذنبه. For others, he's afraid of these small sins. ويرجو لنفسه بأكثر من عمله. But for himself, he expects more reward than his performance. When someone in front of him does something very little, you see him preaching, why are you not doing enough? Why this, why that? But when he does little, he expects Allah to give him heaven. How many of us, we just offer something? We want the world to know. We want everyone to celebrate it. We expect Allah to give us everything in this life and the hereafter for it. What have we done? What have we done to deserve anything? Subhanallah. Have you ever seen someone more gracious than Allah? He gives us. We disobey him. Yet he gives us more. We sin. He gives us. We turn away from him. He calls us on to his way. When we sick, he heals us. But we don't care for him. We take him for granted. يا أيها الإنسان. O mankind. O human being. ما غرك بربك الكريم. Your Lord, the most generous, why do you take him for granted like this? الذي خلقك فسواك فعدلك. He created you, he formed you in the best of forms. في أي صورة ما شاء ركبك. He could have formed you in any shape. كلا بل تكذبون بالدين. No. Really, but you deny this religion. وَإِنَّ عَلَيْكُمْ لَحَافِظِينَ. You have ones who are keeping track of you. كِرَامًا كَاتِبِينَ. Honorable writers. يَعْلَمُونَ مَا تَفْعَلُونَ. They know everything you do. The result is simple. إن الأبرار لفي نعيم. The virtuous are in bliss. وإن الفجار لفي جحيم. The transgressors are in hell. It's very simple. The only thing we have to pay attention. We need to wake up before it's too late. Dear brothers and sisters, I say this for me to remind myself. I appreciate your presence to remind me. I'm not here to preach to you. I'm reminding myself first and foremost. Why do we come together in these nights? Why do we try to remember the martyrdom of those immaculate personalities? Immaculate. Al-Ma'sumin alayhim salam. One side note. Why do I say immaculate, not infallible? The Quran is infallible. Ahlul Bayt are immaculate. What's the difference? Infallibility means a clear of sins and the inability to commit a sin. Immaculateness, a clear of sinning because of the choice, the ability to sin, but the choice not to sin. This immaculateness, as a term, applies to Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam. Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam, the greatness that they are, because the way as individuals, what they chose for themselves. When I look at Lady Zahra alayhi salam, when I look at Amir al-Mu'minin ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam, you know what really amazes me? There's a hadith in Sahih Muslim. It says, قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم إن الله يغضب لغضب فاطمة. He's angered for the anger of Lady Fatima. وَيَرْضَى لِرِضَاهَا. And he's pleased for her what? When she's pleased. Who is this person that Allah Azza wa Jal equates the anger and the pleasure to? They have reached a level where they align their will with the will of Allah Azza wa Jal. إِنَّمَا يُرِيدُ اللَّهِ لِيُذْهِبَ عَنْكُمُ الرِّجْسَ. Why this irada? Why this Allah willed for them? Because they willed for themselves. There is no imposing here. Else why would they deserve heaven? Why they would deserve the reward? Allah Azza wa Jal, dear brothers and sisters, when He gives us these symbols and these role models, for us to do what with them? To revere them, and that's it. One of the difficulties that we have and we face in translating our relationship with our imams and immaculates in our real life. One of the problems that we face is that we create a separation. We love listening about them, but they're them and we're us. Of course they're them and we're us, but we disconnect the path to them. They're something else. Yeah, but they came to be role models for us. We cannot disconnect that path. We cannot disconnect that movement forward to them, to emulate and to shape who we are according to their actions, according to them as role models. When the Imam alayhi salam explains to us what we shouldn't be, He's telling us what we should be. When Allah Azza wa Jal explains to us how we should shape ourselves. When Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he is saying there is an individual on earth that Allah Azza wa Jal is angered for her anger. Meaning what? She is an individual that does not move any way away from what Allah Azza wa Jal wants her to be. Can we be like that? Can we? Our trials and errors. Let me wrap with this thought. Are we going to make mistakes? Of course we're going to make mistakes. We always go up, try hard, then we slip. See, we start here and then we slip and then we go back. We always have to try again. We pick it up again and we slip. Pick it up again and we slip. If we go like most of us, all of us will slip unless you're an immaculate. But here's how we go. Up, we try hard, we slip. Up, we slip. Up. This is an outward momentum and movement. You're in trouble if you go like this. This kind of slippage is a problem because you're not picking up higher than the last place you were. But if you slip and pick up higher, you're okay. Change requires hard work. Change requires putting time and effort. Dear brothers and sisters, as we commemorate the martyrdom of Lady Zahra salamullahi ta'ala alayha in these nights, the question that I want to leave you with as we discuss the estate of Zahra alayhi salam, where are we in trying to emulate her life today in 2023? And how can we emulate her life? We look at her surrounding. Fatimata wa abiha wa ba'liha wa baniha. Fatima, her father, her husband, her children. In the coming 2 nights, inshallah, having set this foundation, we're going to delve into the life of Lady Fatima az-Zahra alayha salam, who took the word of Allah Azza wa Jal and she exemplified it as a daughter, as a spouse and wife, as a mother. And she was a walking, talking word of Allah Azza wa Jal, to a point that when Amir al-Mu'mineen Salamullahi Ta'ala alayh, when he was burying her, his heart that was broken, the words reflected as he said, Inna lillah wa inna ilayhi raji'un. قد استرجعت الوديعة. Imam Ali alayhi salam, upon burying Lady Zahra late at night in secret, only few were with him, they say, his tears flowing from his eyes. He directed his face to the grave of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam. Ya Rasul Allah, inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. قد استرجعت الوديعة. The trust has been taken back. وأخذت الرهينة. واختلست الزهراء. فما أقبح الخضراء والغبراء. يا رسول الله، أما حزني فسرمد، وأما ليلي فمسهد. Oh, beloved Prophet Muhammad, your daughter has been taken back. As for my grief is ongoing, as for my life and night is endless. وهم لا يبرح من قلبي, and the grief of her loss shall not leave my heart. Dear brothers and sisters, Imam Ali used to spend the night at the grave of Lady Fatima, where he would recite the Quran, where he would remember her every night. One night Imam Ali closed his eyes, they say. He saw Lady Zahra come to him and said, Ya Abul Hassan, I want you to go back to the house. I'm grateful for what you're doing. He said, you want me to leave? She said, for our daughter, Lady Lady Zainab. She just woke up and she saw the house is empty. Go back to her. Oh, beloved Lady Fatima. What would you say has happened to Lady Zainab on the 10th day of Muharram in the land of Karbala? When you look all around, Al-Imam Al-Hussein martyred in the land of Karbala. Al-Abbas Ali Al-Akbar, all the close ones, she's left with the women and the children. What do you think Lady Zainab was thinking in that night? Wa Zainab, wa Fatima, wa ya Zahra. يا ليتنا كنا معكم سادتي فنفوز فوزا عظيما. We ask Allah Azza wa Jal to accept the little we are offering, to forgive us our sins. Ya Allah, we ask you to relieve this ummah, this ghummah an hadhihi al-ummah. Ya Allah, بحق محمد وآل محمد. Ya Allah, relieve this grief that is befalling all our brothers and sisters in the lands. Ya Allah, accept what we offer, accept what they offer. بحق محمد وآل محمد. And let us offer for the appearance of our holy Imam. Let us offer the recitation of Surah Al-Fatiha after Salat ala Muhammad wa Ali Muhammad. Bismillah.
Yassin, 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 Ya Hussein, Ya Hussein, Ya Hussein, Hussein, Ya Hussein, Ya Hussein, Ya Hussein, Ya Hussein, Hussein, Ya Hussein, Ya Hussein, Ya Hussein. बाबा बेटी पे तेरी कैसे ज़माने आए, बाबा बेटी पे तेरी कैसे ज़माने आए, तेरे दरबारी मेरे घर को जलाने आए, बाबा बेटी पे तेरी कैसे ज़माने आए, बाबा बेटी पे तेरी कैसे ज़माने आए, बाबा बेटी आए, तेरे दरबारी मेरे घर को जलाने आए, बाबा बेटी पे तेरी कैसे ज़माने आए, بابا بیٹی جلد ہی آ کے ملوں گی میں ہے تجھ سے بابا زخم جالے وہ مجھے ظالم لگانے آئے بابا بیٹی پہ تیری کیسے زمانے آئے جلد ہی آ کے ملوں گی میں ہے تجھ سے بابا زخم جالے وہ مجھے ظالم لگانے آئے بابا بیٹی پہ تیری کیسے زمانے آئے بابا میری تو اداسی پہ تڑپ جاتا تھا تیری امت کے فرد مجھ کو رلانے آئے بابا بیٹی پہ تیری کیسے زمانے آئے بابا بیٹی پہ تیری کیسے تیری تحریر کو جھٹلا کے سند پھاڑی گئی اب گواہوں کو ہے رستے سے ہٹانے آئے بابا بیٹی پہ تیری کیسے زمانے آئے کلمہ پڑھ کے تیرے ہاتھوں جو مسلمان ہوئے بابا وہ لوگ میرے گھر کو گرانے آئے بابا بیٹی پہ تیری کیسے زمانے آئے زمانے آئے یا حسین یا حسین یا حسین اللہم صلی علی
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وعجل فرجهم صلى الله عليك يا رسول الله صلى الله عليك يا حبيب الله السلام عليك يا أمير المؤمنين يا عصوب الدين السلام عليك يا فاطمة الزهراء سيدة نساء العالمين السلام عليك يا أبا محمد يا حسن بن علي السلام عليك يا أبا عبد الله وعلى الأرواح التي حلت بفنائك وعلى تسعة المعصومين من ذريتك صلى الله عليك يا صاحب الزمن يا إمام الإنس والجان يا شريك القرآن الأمان الأمان ورحمة الله وبركاته